and welcome back to the Mafia Means Family Podcast. We're back for another season. I am Mafia Mom.
I am Minnie Bill's Mafia.
Please remember to
like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button.
All right, so this year, how are we doing, Mini Mafia?
We're doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good. You've had a busy year, huh?
Yeah.
You want to tell everybody why your year's been so busy?
Well, I've had football practice now for the modified team. I have been to an NCAA camp for basketball, and really just overall really busy summer.
You've been to the NCCC camp for basketball.
Yeah,
NCAA would be like a college basketball camp, like for college players. So just so you know, it's been a busy summer for sports. Yes, we've been staying very, very busy. And what other camp did you go to this summer?
I went to Dawson Knox camp.
You did, and who did you get to meet?
Dawson Knox.
Yeah, and he even threw you a pass, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran a beautiful route, threw you a pass. What position are you hoping to play on football?
Tight end.
Yes, following in Knox's footsteps here. Well, not exactly, because Knox didn't play in high school, but his pro footsteps. All right, so tonight we are going to do a little season preview and a Cardinals preview. We know everybody wants to go watch the game, so maybe you'll catch this later or have to leave early. We understand. Hopefully we start the season off right this week. But let's start with the season. So a lot of turnover this year, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, two major targets for Josh Allen gone in Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. How'd you feel about those guys leaving?
Well, Davis, I'm not too sad about. The second half of his career, he was dropping passes, like wide open passes. Like he just wasn't performing like he was.
Gabe was always a little streaky. Drops were always an issue for Gabe. I will say that we made some acquisitions this year who have really, really impressive catch percentages. That should help quite a bit. So that's a big factor. Hold on a minute. We're having some technical issues. Try clicking the middle one on the bottom. It's showing up for us. I know clearly something's going on, but it's showing up for us, so I'm not sure what to do with that. For right now, you're on camera in our kitchen. And then hopefully we'll get the camera thing worked out. So, yeah, Gabe Davis, it's been a struggle for a while. Diggs definitely had his struggles last year as well. That was frustrating. How are you feeling about the wide receiver core? Because that's been the talk all season anyway.
Yeah, well, we got Glacier here. We got new big body Keon Coleman. We just picked up like a new younger receiver.
Yeah, I really we'll get to this a little bit later, but I have some hopes for Curtis Samuel. I think he's played with some really bad quarterbacks and he's been productive. And he was the guy I was hinting at earlier with the catch. He's got a really impressive catch percentage. Like he catches more balls that are in his area than most receivers do. All right, so let's get into the season preview here. Open your YouTube. Hang on one second. Oh, I can't do anything right now. Trying. He said to open my YouTube to see but it's my YouTube then decided to freeze. Yeah, it's just the background. He said to open my YouTube to see but it's my YouTube then decided to freeze. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the video because on our screen it's coming up that it's showing on stream. So I'm not sure what to do with that. We're going to have to just keep going right now for audio, I guess. So, okay. This year coming up, I got some questions to ask you, okay? So you're
Yep.
going to guess over or under for the things I ask you, okay? So Bills, over or under 10.5 wins. What are you thinking?
Over.
Over. Okay, so you think we're going to end up with at least 11 wins. Do you see us winning the division again still?
Yes.
Owning it? All right. I also think that we will be over 10.5 wins. Let's see here. Now we got Josh Allen over 3,750.5 yards. Let's see what that would be. So that's 235 yards a game, basically.
I'm going to say over.
You're going to say over? Yeah. I also think that will be over. So I think they're underestimating Allen this year because of the losses, and I don't see how he takes that big of a drop off. All right. By the way, last season he had 4,306. The year before 4,283. The year before 4,407. So he's been up there. Let's see. We're gonna try closing. What? And something's trying to happen. Nope, still disappeared. Oh, there we go. We're on. Okay, we got video. Yay! Sorry about that. Okay, so we both picked over on Josh's yards. Josh rushing TDs, 9.5. Now, he had 15 last year, but that was kind of an anomaly. He had 7 the year before, 6 the year before that. So what are you thinking?
I'm going to say under.
You're going to say under? All right. I am also going to go with under there. So, and anybody who's watching, please feel free to give us your answers in the chat. We'll get the chat opened up so we can see. And then we'll put your answers up there too, because we're really going to keep close track this year of what we guessed. So, all right, rushing yards for Josh Allen, 480.5. Now, last year he was at 524. The year before 762. The year before 763. But as they've done the last few years, they keep talking about him not rushing so much, and we have James Cook this year. So, what are you thinking?
I'm going to say barely under.
Barely under. All right. I am still going over on that one. I think even if you pull Josh back, he's still running for 5. All right. Passing TDs, 28.5.
Over.
Now, he had 29 last year, 35 the year before, 36 the year before that.
Over.
Over? I will also be going over. I got a lot of faith in Josh. I'm just saying. All right. Here's the big one. Interceptions, 15. So he had 18 last year, 14 the year before, 15 the year before that. What are you thinking? Is he going to take better care of the ball this year?
That's tough. That's tough. Over 15.
For the season, yep.
I don't know. I'm going to say under.
You're going to say under? I think he will be at 14. So I'm going to say even. All right. So now we're going to go on to James Cook. So last year, James Cook ran for 1,122 yards. Do you think he will break 1,100 again this year?
Yes.
Me too. I don't think the offense is going to take the huge step back that everybody thinks. All right. Rushing TDs for James Cook, 5. Now, last year, he only ran for 2. The year before, he only ran for 2.
He's never broken 3.
Right. He only been around 2 years, but yes.
I'm going to say over 5.
Over 5? I'm going under on that one. I just don't think he gets the ball enough in the inside the 5. I think Ray Davis could. I think there's some other options, Josh, but I just don't think he's getting the ball that much in there. All right, what about receiving yards for Cook? So last year he had 445. Do you think he will break 500 this year with an offense that doesn't really know each other super well early in the year?
Yes.
I think he'll go over that, but I think most of the yards are going to come in the first 6 weeks of him receiving, while Josh is trying to get the timing down with Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman and all the new guys. All right, receiving touchdowns. Last year, Cook had 4. Do you think he'll break 5 this year?
Yeah.
I agree. I'm going over on that as well. All right, Dalton Kincaid. Last year, he had 673 receiving yards. Do you think he'll break 800 this year?
Yes.
I agree. I think he will be just under 1,000. I think he's going to be around 950. You think he'll break 1,000?
Yeah.
Really? Impressive. All right. Kincaid only had 2 receiving touchdowns last year. 5 is what I'm going with this year.
I'm going to say at 5.
You think at 5. All right. I'm going to go over. I think, again, early in the year, we're going to really rely on him. All right. Keon Coleman. This is the guy you can't wait to see out there, right? Do you think he will get 800 yards receiving? Now, let me point out to you, if he makes it to 800, he will be 4th all-time for Buffalo Bills rookie receivers. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm going to say like just under like 650 and in between 650 and 750.
I also think under on that. I think it's just going to take some time. So I think he'll have a really great last half of the season. I think the first 6 to 10 weeks is going to be a little rougher for him. So,
yeah.
All right. 8 touchdowns. Do you think Coleman will catch 8 touchdowns? It's a lot of touchdowns for a rookie.
I'm going to say yes because he's a big body.
So you think yes. You think over. I am going under on that. I think if he lives up to potential, I'm hoping he gets 6 to 7. All right, Ed Oliver had a monster season last year. Let's switch to the defense. He got that huge contract, and he proved why he was worth it, coming out with 9.5 sacks. Unbelievable from his position. Do you think he will break 6.5 sacks this year? Before last year, he had 2.5 and 4. So that was a huge jump up. Do you think he'll break 6.5 this year? I agree. I think Ed Oliver will at least get to 7. Groot suffered some injuries last year. He had a tough time at times, just injury-wise. But I think when he was healthy, he actually created a lot of sacks for other people. There were a lot of times he was getting penetration, and other guys would end up benefiting from it. So 8.5 sacks for Groot. Now, he had 5 last year, 8 the year before, 4 the year before that. Do you think he'll get to 8.5?
Under.
I think over. I think Groot is due for a big year this year. All right. Epinesa. So what was Epinesa known for last year?
His interceptions.
The tipping and passes, right? Passes defended. So last year he had 8 passes defended. The year before he had 5. Do you think that he will beat his number from last year?
Yes.
I agree. I think
he'll get at least 10.
I think so. We're gonna move on now, and I'll talk about Epinesa in a moment.
10 is the minimum, and 17 is the maximum.
So we're gonna. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. We're going to move on now to our players to watch for the season, and I'm going to start because Epinesa is actually my guy to watch. I expect Epinesa to take another step this year and to be very, very disruptive on that line. I really, really do. So I expect a lot out of Epinesa this year. Who is your defensive player to watch for the year?
My defensive player to watch for the year is Von Miller.
Okay. Why?
Well, he just came off of an injury, and people are saying he's been looking good. He's been looking back to old Von.
They have.
So, I think didn't he have the ACL tear?
He did, yes, 2 years ago. And last year, he just never quite seemed himself.
Yeah, now I think that he's had some more rest time. And that he's, gotten, more playing time, in the preseason.
Yeah.
It's
he didn't play in the preseason.
He didn't?
No.
Well, he's gotten back to himself, I think.
That's what they've been saying. The reporters on the sidelines are talking about how Von looks like he did when he first got here. So Okay, fair enough.
I don't really watch
Give
preseason,
me,
so
give me an idea of how many sacks you think Von will have this
I
year.
think Von will have at least 6.
At least 6. Okay, let's put that prediction down.
At
Von,
least 6, but
6
maximum of 10.
sacks. Okay, 6 to 10. PJ, I don't think he's broken 10 in quite a few years, so that would be interesting. All right, offensive player to watch. Who do you got for the season?
For me, it's Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman. Why? I know you are so excited to have him.
I
am too, for the record. What have I been yelling about since Josh took his step? What kind of receiver did I want?
Big body, physical guy like Mike Evans.
I wanted a contested catch guy, and I think Coleman is that guy. My only worry is how much will the Bills use him, because the Bills tend to not use rookies very much. I want to see him and Cole Bishop out on the field. I think they're both really talented players, and I want to see a lot from both.
I think Keon Coleman will have just under 8 touchdowns.
Just under 8 touchdowns? Is that you said over?
Yeah.
You said over 8.
Around in between 7 and 10 touchdowns.
Okay, fair enough. That would be a really impressive year for.
Have like 2 or 3 in the beginning. He's gonna have like 4 in between 4 and 6 at the end.
So he's gonna finish strong. I agree. He's gonna get stronger as the year goes on.
Because he'll get more used to Josh and
a lot of
chemistry.
Yeah, a lot of rookie players though tend to hit kind of a rookie wall around week 12, 13 because they're not used to how long the NFL season is. So we'll see how it works out though. Like, I'm excited to watch him for sure. Okay, so your player to watch for the season offensively is Keon Coleman. My player to watch, it's kind of a dual thing. So the easy pick is Shakir, because I think Shakir is primed to take a huge step this year. The way he came on at the end of last season, and look, I get it. We lost Diggs, we lost Davis. They contributed essentially nothing for that win streak that we ended the season with. Nothing. Diggs had 1 touchdown, and it was in the Philly game that we lost. Gabe Davis had no touchdowns in that ending winning streak. Shakir was the lead receiver, and there was a reason for it. The guy is versatile, and I've been saying this since we drafted him. I've been excited to see him on the field. But my real player to watch this year is Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel has put up numbers consistently, and again, his catch percentage is through the roof, one of the highest in the NFL. And he has played with horrible quarterbacks. The only season he had a semi-decent quarterback was Cam Newton, which is nowhere near Josh's level throwing the ball. And he performed very, very well. He was a top 15, top 20 wide receiver that year in terms of numbers. So I'm very excited to see what Curtis Samuel could do with Josh Allen at quarterback. I'm also excited to see Josh, and this is the upside to getting rid of Diggs. I'm excited to see Josh without the pressure of having to force the ball to one guy. This is Josh's offense now, and he can go wherever he wants with it, and the receivers are going to have to live with it because it's not their team, it's Josh's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I know you missed Diggs, but I think there is an upside to him being gone. All right, let's fast forward now to, and again, we want to make sure that everybody who wants to watch the game gets a chance to. We also want to watch the game. Plus, what are we doing this weekend, PJ? Where are we going, and what are we doing it for?
We are going to Salem for my birthday trip.
So your birthday was when?
It was August 18th.
Yep. And how old did you turn?
12.
12 years old, right. So we're taking a weekend trip to Salem to do some ghost hunting and haunted tours and stuff. So we got a busy weekend ahead of us. So that's why this is kind of so smushed together. Also, just want to give everybody a heads up that we could end up having to record some shows and don't get a chance to go live with PJ's football schedule. Also, PJ's sister is a JV soccer player.
Really?
So it could end up where we just don't have enough time to be able to make it on Thursday nights. But we're going to try to go live as much as we can. I know as the season goes on, some of our regulars will come in as well as hopefully some new faces. And we really love talking with you guys. So, okay, on to the Cardinals preview. So the Cardinals are not expected to be very good this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start out with what do you think? Who is your offense? You want to start offense or defense for player to watch for this game?
Defense and you start first.
Defense and me start first? Okay. So my defensive player to watch goes along with your defensive player to watch for the year. It's Von. I want to see if Von is back. I don't care what his numbers are at the end of the game. I don't care if he has sacks or tackles for. I don't care. I just want to see him look like his old self. I want to see the jump off of the line. I want to see him be disruptive in the backfield. I want to see Vaughn look anywhere close to the way he did 2 years ago. I appreciate that he took the pay cut given what happened with him, but like I want to see the real Vaughn, the guy we brought here to help us win. We got some messages there. So Spears, Bills. You want to read the one that the blue one there?
Yeah. Spears, Bills, Tom. I'm glad to see you back.
It's glad to be back. When the Bills lose at the end of the season, I need to just like block football out for a while because I am far too emotionally invested in this team. And it's heartbreaking every year, but I'm glad to be back and I'm excited for the season to start. So it's let's just get to Sunday already. I want to watch this game. Okay. So my defensive player to watch for this game is Vaughn. Yours is right.
Mine is Groot.
And what do you think? Why are we watching Groot?
We're watching Groot because isn't it his second or third year?
Third.
It's his third year. He's had pretty good numbers the last couple of years. I think this is going to be Groot's one of his best years.
Okay. All right. So what are you looking for from him in this game this week?
I'm looking for him, just like you said with Von Miller. I'm looking for him to be disruptive in the backfield, trying to get a nice jump off the line, and definitely get some sacks.
Okay. All right.
At least one sack.
Okay. So my offensive player to watch is for the week is, let's see here what I put. Oh, yeah. So it is somebody who is playing in a brand new position for us, and I think it's been overlooked a lot because of some of the other names that we've lost. But Connor McGovern playing at center, I think that's a very big deal. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Mitch Morris was getting up there in age, and he had the concussion issues. But I want to see that communication and that connection between Josh and Connor the same way it was between Josh and Mitch. I don't want to see the offensive line take a step back. I know a lot of this was Josh's athleticism, but Josh was the least sacked quarterback in the NFL last year, and our offensive line should be at that same level this year. So I am hoping that Connor McGovern that there's no learning curve for Connor McGovern, and he can jump right in and play at the same level Mitch Morris was. Can you do this, please?
I have a hot take.
Wait, we're going to do hot takes in a minute, okay? Players to watch for this game. Who's your player to watch for this game?
My player to watch is
Cook. Okay, and what are you expecting to see out of Cook?
I'm expecting to see receiving yards, his speed and athleticism, especially running around the outside.
Okay.
I think he'll get at least 60 rushing yards. And I'm going to say 10 attempts.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Do you have any hot takes?
I do have a hot take going into this game, but let's go into the Josh Allen stat line. So you want to go first or second for the Josh Allen?
I will go first.
Okay.
Since it is a new season, new year, I'm expecting Josh to start off a little slow.
Okay.
I'm expecting him to have 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 1 rushing touchdown.
Now, based on those yards, and because Cook is one of your players to watch, do you expect it to be a heavier rushing day?
I'm expecting it to be 50-50.
50-50. Okay. That's about where we seem to be for a lot of games last year. So I understand that. I'm a little higher on Josh starting out, and I know he hasn't always started out super high number wise. Like he hasn't always started. He gets a little anxious, it seems like, and sometimes he can come out a little rough. But I think he's going to throw. Oh, did you finish yours? Did you say how many touchdowns? You said 2. What about this?
I did say 1.
You did? Did you say 1 rushing TD?
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry. I think Josh is going to have about 280 yards passing, not rushing. 2 touchdowns, and here's the big factor. I think he's going to have 0 picks. Big old goose egg in the interception column. So, and Bills fan CA is sharing with us.
Bills fan CA said, I am hoping those interceptions are down this year.
We all are. I will say that an insanely high percentage of Josh's interceptions over the last 3 years have been when targeting Gabe Davis. Now, whether that was just these 2 guys weren't on the same page or Josh not understanding Gabe or Gabe not understanding Josh. I don't really care what you're going to blame it on. I would blame it more on Gabe Davis given things that have happened, but I don't care what you're going to blame it on. Either way, a lot of his interceptions have been when targeting Gabe Davis. Now that you've removed Gabe Davis from that equation, let's see what happens to his interceptions. I think they will go down a little bit this year, but he's always going to be like a double-digit interception guy because he takes too many chances. That's also, though, where you get the spectacular play from. So you can't take it out of his game all the way. All right, so we're going to pause here on the predictions because we're going to go to Factor Flag.
Yay, my favorite segment. And
yes. Now, we do not have our flag right now, so you're just going to have to say Factor Flag, okay? All right, so first Factor Flag. And the last two, we do have our flag. Thank you very much for our technical advisor and producer and director, if you want to call it that.
Other mom, which I love very much.
All right. It's very sweet, kid. So, first Factor Flag. In the last 2 seasons, opening day, home teams have won around 50% of the games, week 1.
Home teams, week 1, around 50% of the games. I'm going to say there's a fact. When you're at home, you have your own crowd. It's the beginning of the season. Everybody's riled up.
Okay, fair enough. So that's a fact. I'll just give a minute to see if anybody in the chat wants to answer, because this is usually not so much opinions, but there is an actual right answer to it. You're not starting off the year great, kid. It is a flag, and it is a flag because away teams have won almost 60% of the openers in week 1 over the last 2 seasons. They've won 19 games. 19 out of 32. They've won 19. It's crazy. Yeah, 60% of the games. So something's happening where home teams are, I don't know, too amped up in front of their crowd. I don't know what it is. But 60% of the time, almost, it's like 59.9999 time, away teams have won over the last 2 years on opening day. Okay. Next up, that would bode well for tonight, though, because it's Baltimore at KC. So, okay, next one. Josh Allen has never lost opening week in Buffalo at home.
Wasn't it last year in Buffalo against the Jets?
It was at New York.
So, Josh has never lost a home opener at home.
Right. Not home, but he's never lost week 1 at home. Okay. That's what I'm saying. We got Bills fan California saying that one's false.
I'm trusting you, Chet. I'm saying it's false.
You're absolutely right. And Bills fan California even remembers the game a couple years ago. We lost to the Steelers on opening day. We came out and got our bell rung.
I do remember that.
It was just so ugly game. It really was. So, good job, Bills fan Cal. I'm assuming that stands for California. If I'm wrong, you could say so. But Bills fan California, good job. Good job, Vinny Mafia. Okay.
I'm giving all the credit to Bills fan California.
Well, you should.
You said the right answer, and I trusted the chat.
Good job.
Using the chat.
All right. So, last one here. Ready? This is an interesting one. The Cardinals. Now, they've been St. Louis, Arizona, whatever. The Cardinals have not won in Buffalo since before Sean McDermott was born.
They have now won in Buffalo?
Yep, since before Sean McDermott was born. Let me double check when Sean McDermott was born because I can't remember the year he was born.
It wasn't the Cardinals against Bills where Kyler Murray threw the really
yes, but that was in Arizona.
Oh, I thought that
McDermott was born in 74, just to give you an idea.
I'm going to say
74.
Wait. The Cardinals haven't been that good, really. I mean,
neither were the Bills for a long time.
Their defense was legit. But
I don't think the Cardinals have ever really they haven't had a great defense in a long time. But they've been okay. Okay, so Bills fan California thinks that's true. You're going with Bills fan California again?
Yes, I am.
You would both be correct. Yeah. So Cardinals have not won in Buffalo since 1971 when they were with St. Louis. When they were the St. Louis Cardinals. 71, and McDermott was born in 74. So, interesting little factoid. Bills also lead the series 7-5. So Bills have won 7 out of the 12 matchups against them. Okay, we're going to move on now to our last segment, which is what it always is, score predictions, right?
And our hot takes.
Oh, our hot takes. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Okay, hot takes. Let's go with hot takes first. What is your hot take for there? Me first?
Yes, you first.
Okay. This is going to sound a little crazy, I think. Like,
exactly,
it's going to sound a little
one
out
I
there.
called last year.
I don't remember which one.
Sauce Gardner.
Oh,
that
yeah.
he absolutely annihilated.
So
everybody thought I was wrong, by the way.
I think one of two things is going to happen tomorrow, and both of them would be milestones for these players. So my hot take is kind of a either or thing. I think either DeMar Hamlin gets a turnover. He is starting at safety, so whether that's an interception, fumble, recovery, whatever. Or I think Coleman gets in the end zone tomorrow. I think there's going to be a focus on amping up the fans and the crowd wants it, and I think one of those two things happen. So either Hamlin gets a turnover, or Keon Coleman gets in the end zone. What do you think?
I think it's also on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
All right, my defensive side of the ball, I think AJ Epinesa is going to get 2 sacks and 1 interception.
Wow. Okay.
And on the offensive side, I think Dalton Kincaid is going to get at least 80 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. So we'll go with Epinesa. You said, and we're going to keep track of these so we can make sure that at the end of the year we hold ourselves accountable. 2 sacks, 1 interception. And you said Kincaid, how many yards?
At least 80.
At least 80. All right, 80 yards. Okay, if you guys have any hot takes in the chat, please share them. We would love to hear it.
Around 80.
Around 80. All right.
75 and up.
Okay, now down to our score predictions for the game. Me first. Okay.
I like to go last.
So, I think that we got very fortunate with who we're starting off playing this year. We have a very, very difficult season. It's very difficult. Okay. Very difficult schedule. We have 2 really rough streaks in that schedule. Of course, a lot can change, and like teams that you think are going to be good aren't, but it's still going to be a rough year in terms of the schedule. There are some, we play a lot of good teams. The Cardinals, I just don't think they're one of them right now. I think we win this game, and unlike the normal Bills games, I don't think it's a super close game. I think we win this game pretty significantly. I think it's going to be 27-13 Bills. Oh wait, we got a hot take here. Let's put this one up here. I love this. Ooh. This would be cool. You know,
I like that.
For all the crap he's taken, and he's taken a lot, and I understand he was battling an injury last year, and that played a huge part. He has 2 postseason interceptions. I mean, that's pretty crazy for a guy who's barely played. Like, he shows up in big moments. No, that wasn't a playoff one. His first one was he didn't have one against the Chiefs in the playoffs. Not in the playoffs.
Not in the playoffs.
It was the regular season. We're talking about playoffs, though. It was Miami last year, 2 years ago in the playoffs. And then I think he had one against the Steelers. But he definitely had one against the Steelers. But I would love to see Elam actually be able to step up and earn his spot there. Oh, we miss you too, Beth. We're so glad you're here.
Much.
Yay.
Thank you. I am 12, and I'm around 5'3".
We're hoping to be back most Thursdays live, Beth. However, next Thursday we probably won't be because my daughter has a soccer game that night. So I think it's going to be too rough to make it home in time. But we can't wait to be interacting with you and hear your predictions and your thoughts about this season. Hearts to you too, Beth. Very glad to see you. Beth has been with us. We love talking to her. It's awesome to have her on. I still would like to have you and one of your kids on as an interview. We just got to get the audio thing worked out. But I have your email address, so we can do that. Okay. Your score prediction. And Beth and everybody else in the chat, if you have a score prediction, please share it. We would love to hear it. Or hot takes. Yep. Anything. We already had one hot take. Kiara Elam interception. I'd love to see it.
Mm-hmm. So
wish her luck for me. We will, Beth. Thank you.
We will. So my score prediction is it's definitely going to be like yours. It's not going to be close at all. I'm going to say 35-10.
35-10. So you think it's going to be a big win?
Yeah, I think James Cook is going to have at least 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns.
Did you see Beth's comment there?
Yes, absolutely. My media crew is ready.
Her media crew is ready to do the interview. Well, great. We'll have like a CNN setup. It'll be all legit.
Yeah.
We definitely do though. We got it. We got to have a conversation. I would love to hear from you and your kids about the game. Plus, you're the exact like we want everybody to come in, but like the whole point was to be able to reach out to other moms and other kids and people who wanted a more family friendly show than the normal like trash talking type of thing. Which for the record on Mafia Sports Report, there's a wide range of shows. So there's kind of something for everybody.
Hey.
Bills fan California thinks 27-17. I could see that. That's not far off from what I thought. Now, let me ask, though, do you think it's going to be a close 27-17, though? Because, like, if it's 24-17 and we pop a field goal, that's very different than 24-10 and they get a garbage time, or 27-10 and they get a garbage time touchdown. So I'm just curious, Bills fan Cali, do you think it's going to be a close 27-17? And Beth, I think, said there that she also has a lopsided win this week. So I think everybody's kind of on the same page as us. I think, once again, this season, the Bills are their own worst enemy. So if they can hold it together, Bills fan Kelly thinks it's close. So that's interesting. We'll see. We're going to mark that down, though, just so we can hopefully you'll be with us next time and we can say, hey, you were right or you were wrong.
Another comment from Beth. It would be me and my students. I've got 30-ish media kiddos, all 6th grade to 8th grade. Well, I am right in there. I am now in 7th grade fully.
That's awesome. That would be very, very cool. We don't overlook any team on week 1. You're right, Bills fan. California, like it's real easy to get cocky week 1. We did that with the Steelers a few years ago. So you're 100% right. If we were playing in Arizona, I would feel a lot less confident about this game. Even given what I said earlier about the 60%. I don't know. I feel like that ball is going to get spread around so much. It's so much harder to just zone in on one guy to take him away. And I think there'll be some bumps, though. I think there's going to be some sloppy play like there always is. And you can't forget about the ref impact, too. Like, I don't want to blame things on the refs, but it's week 1 for them, too. And calls are going to get missed, and there's going to be bad calls. So I could see it being close. It wouldn't shock me, for sure. All right. Well, anything else you want to add here?
Nope. Just thank you all for coming in the chat, and thank you for sharing your opinion with us. W's in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, glad you guys came in. I know we're just starting up again. A lot of the Bills YouTubers do it all year, and we can't. Our schedule just doesn't allow it. So we appreciate you guys coming back in, and hopefully we'll see you guys next time we're live. And when we're not live, check out the recording, and please leave comments, because I want to check the comments regularly and share them with Minnie, too.
Yeah. Also, Beth, tell all of your students from 6th through 8th grade I said hi.
And Bills fan California, great show. Thank you. Appreciate it. We had a little bumpy start, but off and running. Hopefully that's how the Bills season will be this year. So from our family to yours, thank you very much for coming out and spending the evening talking Bills with us. And until next time, go Bills!